Good evening. City Council, City Manager Campbell, Clerk Royal, distinguished guests, and my fellow citizens. Let me begin tonight by expressing my gratitude to the citizens of Saline for providing me the privilege and honor of serving as your mayor. It's hard to believe, but this is my 11th State of the City address. I want to begin tonight's address a bit differently. By nature, I'm not a very introspective person or one who's prone to reflection. But I've recently been thinking a lot about how far we've come as a city and how much things have changed since my tenure as a council member began in January of 2009. It's easy to live in the moment and think only about where we are, but it's crucial to take time and look back and recall where we've been. In January 2009, the city of Saline was experiencing the adverse effects of the Great Recession. Revenues were declining, our businesses were struggling, and as a community, we were forced to forego or delay important projects. As a city, we took the very difficult step of eliminating positions in city government. While the impact was not as severe as some of our neighboring communities, the anemic economy had impacted Saline in innumerable ways. It's worth noting that the Saline community has weathered storms and hardships in the past, and with some determination and fortitude and a desire to work together, we pulled through, as is our custom. Today, in January 2018, Saline is on a trajectory to prosper, to continue to meet the needs of our residents, and to address difficult and challenging issues. Chief among those is odor abatement at our wastewater treatment plant. As I've stated in the past, the frequency and levels of noxious odors is not acceptable, and it has a direct impact on our residents' quality of life. Accordingly, the city, working with Tetra Tech and Webster Environmental, has designed a plan in which we anticipate that approximately 99% of odors will be eliminated. Construction will begin later this year. In the meantime, when citizens experience offensive odors that they believe are coming from our wastewater treatment plant, they are encouraged to promptly call Director Bob Scull at 734-944-2003. This has been an issue that has ebbed and flowed over the course of many decades. In the past, the city has overpromised and underdelivered. Our good intentions were not always backed by firm science and data, but I emphatically believe that we now have the analysis and background to properly resolve this critical matter. Now, most of our residents and community stakeholders are aware that economic development and business attraction and retention is among the issues that I am most passionate about. I am reminded of the statement that President Kennedy was quite fond of, that as it relates to our economy, a rising tide lifts even the smallest boats. A truly strong, robust, and diverse local economy benefits all of our residents. It provides jobs, supports city services, and adds amenities that increase the desirability of the Saline community. Our efforts to support and to incentivize economic development have resulted in a number of tangible gains in recent years. Most notably, the Imagine movie theater, along with a number of other small businesses, particularly those within the heart of our downtown. Also significant progress continues to be made on a standalone Ace Hardware and a Best Western Premier Boutique Hotel. And I look forward in the first half of 2018 to working with the new owners of 147 Michigan Avenue to finalize their development, which will make an important and positive contribution to our downtown. The city will also continue to work with businesses and property owners on our western and eastern borders to ensure their success and vitality. The Community Recruitment and Retention Team, which is comprised of representatives from the Chamber, city government, schools, and Saline Main Street, continues to work with property owners and budding entrepreneurs. And we extend an open invitation to anyone who would like to grow their business or create jobs in the city of Saline. We are eager to help you and assist you in any reasonable way. Another important component of economic development is growing and diversifying our housing stock. We have been pleased to work with quality developers like Livonia Builders, Peters Building Company, Pulte Homes, 600 North Maple LLC, and the Lewis Klein Company. In fact, I am hopeful that the Planning Commission can approve final site plans for Lewis Klein's most recent project on North Maple Road sometime this month. We are also pleased that there appears to be a path forward for the Fairdean development on Monroe Street. We are very close to having the blighted structure removed, and we will continue to assist the developer, Mr. Farrell, in every way we are able. I also want to take this opportunity to thank our partners at Ann Arbor Spark for their assistance in bringing Navia to the Saline community. The city is thrilled to have this innovative, progressive company join our already stellar industrial business community. Finally, I do want to acknowledge two of our larger industrial businesses. MMI Engineering Solutions is very close to completing a rather large addition to their facility on Woodland Drive, and I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate Klingenberg for their acquisition of the R&B Sun Engineering building in downtown Saline. They have already shared with us a vision on how they can improve and upgrade the facility, and I will continue to be a stout advocate for helping them realize this vision. There are also a number of proposals in the works, and residents should expect to hear more in the coming months. Needless to say, being good stewards of public resources is of paramount importance. Our residents are well aware that because of city government's diligence, we have improved our bond rating, and in recent years, Council has also adopted a fund balance policy, and we have renewed our focus on managing legacy costs. Specifically, we recently made changes to retiree health care, which resulted in significant cost savings while still providing our retirees with quality insurance. The community can rest assured that Council and the city will continue to scrutinize and evaluate all programs and services in the hopes of improving efficiencies and identifying additional opportunities for cost savings. In the previous calendar year, the city completed important infrastructure projects on Old Creek Drive and Austin Road, a significant patching project on Bennett Street, as well as resurfacing of parking lot number 4 in our downtown. I want my colleagues to know, and I don't want there to be any ambiguity on this point, that as we consider our upcoming budget, I will continue to be an advocate for increasing staffing levels at our Department of Public Works if we are able. Maintaining our infrastructure assets, our roads, our sidewalks, water and sewer systems, etc., is simply not possible without adequate staffing levels. As our financial position improves, I believe that one of our critical needs is more employees on our front lines. Additionally, the city continues to make headway on improving our sidewalk inventory. The southeast quadrant of our community was worked on this past year, and more territory will be added during the construction season of 2018. I encourage those property owners with deficient sidewalks to participate in the program, thus leveraging some cost savings. Clearly, one of Saline's most valued assets is our recreation complex. While I regret that we need to spend roughly $1.5 million to repair and reconstruct the facility's roof, I am pleased with the progress that is being made, and I know it will go a long way to ensure the long-term viability of the building. In fact, my first coffee hour of 2018 will be focused on this topic and some of the recent changes to membership fees and amenities. Ensuring that our public safety professionals, have the resources they need to do their jobs safely will continue to be a priority of mine and the City of Saline. In fact, City Council takes very seriously any issues involving the effectiveness and cohesion of our police department. In addition to 2 independent reviews of our department, we recently evaluated the benefits of a possible police advisory board, and City Council has also advocated for updating and modernizing the police department's internal policies. And we are pleased to have partnered with Lexipol to complete this important task. I want to take this opportunity to thank former Police Chief Larry Rennick for his work on this, and more importantly, to wish him and his family well in his retirement. The city is thrilled to have Jared Hart on board as our new police chief. Chief Hart comes to the city with experience and deep passion for public safety, and we know he will do great things for our department and for our city. Due to the number of inquiries, changes in the regulatory framework, and because of recent action taken by the federal government, in the next 6 months, City Council will revisit and discuss our policy on medical marijuana to determine whether it is still appropriate and prudent. Another major issue the city continues to work on, is revising Saline's non-discrimination ordinance. I take personal responsibility for the delay. In retrospect, the schedule that I initially established was far too ambitious. However, I do feel that we've made significant progress, and discussion has been improved considerably by public participation and input. The ordinance will be considered at an upcoming Code and Ordinance Review Task Force meeting, and I'm hopeful that Council has something to consider in the very near future. I want to say too that the genesis for the Code and Ordinance Review Task Force was to ensure that our codes and ordinances are up to date, but also that the requirements are not too onerous on residents or business owners. As such, if individuals have suggestions on how we can improve our ordinances or policies, they are encouraged to contact the task force or attend its meetings. Now, in the spirit of openness, I want to make the community aware that City Council will be having a strategic planning session later this month. In addition to fine-tuning some of our goals and objectives we've set in recent years, I also hope to develop consensus on a shared vision for funding our infrastructure needs, as well as how we handle growth and annexation in the coming years. I also want to announce that in addition to my regular coffee and conversation meetings, I will also establish office hours in which residents or small groups can come and discuss local matters with me in a more intimate setting. Please look for upcoming media releases and information online announcing my office hour schedule. Now, I am mindful of the fact that there is not, nor should there be, a government solution to every problem. Some of the ills in our society can only be solved by people helping people, one-on-one human contact. And this is one of the reasons I've been such a fierce advocate for volunteerism in our community. For those who are interested in serving causes greater than themselves, I encourage you to attend our upcoming volunteer fair this Saturday, January 13th from 9 to 11 at the Rec Center. Finally, anytime a resident has a question or concern, we encourage you to connect with us on our website, social media, or the C-Click Fix app. It is clear to me, my friends, that the city has made significant, tangible progress in recent decades. While there is work that remains undone, so much has been initiated or accomplished. I say this not for your applause or your congratulations, but because I ask for your commitment and your help in continuing our efforts. I also want to acknowledge and thank my colleagues for their commitment to our community. Mayor Pro Tem Linda Tahar, Councilmember Jack Seo, Janet Dillon, Dean Gearbaugh, Heidi McClellan, and Kristen Mitchell. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge and thank our very talented and experienced team of city employees that provide world-class service to the Saline community on a daily basis. Finally, I know that if we continue to work together, stay focused on a shared vision that emphasizes the importance of economic development, investing in critical public services, while remaining open and accessible to the people we represent, our best days will be ahead of us. Thank you, God bless you, and may God bless Saline.